트럼프, 자신의 대선 승리 확신.
Friends, delegates, and fellow citizens, I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
트럼프, 대통령 후보직 수락.
We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
정치적 다툼 완화해야 한다는 트럼프.
And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy. Especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country.
트럼프, 자신의 혐의 없어짐 주장.
On Monday, a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge in Florida, Eileen Cannon, finding that the prosecutor and the fake documents case against me were totally unconstitutional, and the entire case was thrown out of court. With all of that publicity, thrown out of court. If Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I have been going through for approximately 8 years. And they should do that without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it anyway, but worthy of our people.
민주당에서 기소 좀 그만하라는 트럼프.
They've got to stop that because they're destroying our country. We have to work on making America great again, not on beating people. We beat them on indictments, we beat them. But the time that you have to spend, if they would devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger and better country.
자신의 업적 중 한 가지 이야기하는 트럼프.
Right to try is a big deal. Somebody's terminally ill. And hopefully there's nobody in this audience. We have the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest laboratories in the world, and you can't do it. They've been trying to get that approved for 52 years. It wasn't that easy. The labs didn't want to do it because if it didn't work, people are pretty far down the line toward death. The doctors didn't want to have it on their records, so I got everybody into an office. It sounds simple, but it's not. And I got them to agree that somebody that needs it will, instead of going to Asia, Europe, or someplace, or if you have no money going home and dying, just die. We got them to sign an agreement, agree to it, where they're not going to sue anybody.
트럼프, 재임 시 자신의 각오 공개.
Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world.
3차 대전 위협 언급.
A growing specter of conflict hangs over Taiwan, Korea, the Philippines, and all of Asia, and our planet is teetering on the edge of World War III And this will be a war like no other war because of weaponry. The weapons are no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. These weapons are obliteration. It's time for a change. This administration can't come close to solving the problems. They're fierce people. And we don't have fierce people.
그중에 틈새 디스.
We have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. Then they're fierce. Then they're fierce.
감세 정책이 새로운 비즈니스를 가져온다는 트럼프.
You know, people don't realize I brought taxes way down, way down, and yet we took in more revenues the following year than we did when the tax rate was much higher. Most people said, how did you do that? Because it was incentive. Everybody was coming to the country. They were bringing back billions and billions of dollars into our country. The companies made it impossible to bring it back. We'll do it again, but we'll do it even better.
트럼프, 불법이민을 침입으로 간주, 국방비를 사용하려함.
I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 billion. I said, I'm going to take a little of that money because this is an invasion. We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. We're not going to let that happen.
트럼프, 세계 위기를 종식하겠다 함.
I will end every single international crisis that the current administration has created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president, and the war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was president. Iran was broke. Iran had no money. Now Iran has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years. And they had a congressman who was a Democrat say, well, whether you like him or not, Iran was broke dealing with Trump. I told China and other countries, if you buy from Iran, we will not let you do any business in this country, and we will put tariffs on every product you do send in of 100% or more. Iran was going to make a deal with us. Together we will restore vision, strength, competence, and we're going to have a thing called common sense making most of our decisions, actually.
아메리칸 드림 약속하는 트럼프.
We cannot and will not let this continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. We're going to be a great nation again. Thank you. With proper leadership, every disaster we are now enduring will be fixed, and it will be fixed very, very quickly. So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore. With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited.
미국개현안 관련 트럼프 발언.
This week, the entire Republican Party has formally adopted an agenda for America's renewal, and you saw that agenda.
민주당 개혁안 깨알 디스.
And it's very short compared to the long, boring, meaningless agendas of the past, including the Democrats. They write these things that are hundreds of pages long, and they never read them after they're done. In their case, fortunately, they don't read them because they're pretty bad.
임기 시작 시 물가를 잡을 거라는 트럼프.
Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60% and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway. You can't buy houses. Young people can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration. Republicans have a plan to bring down prices and bring them down very, very rapidly by slashing energy costs. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far. We are a nation that has the opportunity to make an absolute fortune with its energy. We will be energy dominant and supply not only ourselves, but we will supply the rest of the world with numbers that nobody has ever seen.
친환경 정책이 사기라는 트럼프.
They spent trillions of dollars on things having to do with the Green New Scam. It's a scam. And that's caused tremendous inflationary pressures in addition to the cost of energy. And all of the trillions of dollars that are sitting there not yet spent, we will redirect that money for important projects like roads, bridges, dams, and we will not allow it to be spent on meaningless green new scam ideas.
전기차 법안 폐지 할거라는 트럼프.
And I will end the electric vehicle mandate on day one. Thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car. And right now, as we speak, large factories just started, are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump, because we're going to bring back car manufacturing and we're going to bring it back fast. They're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world, and we're going to bring it back. And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each car, and they will be unsellable in the United States.
신토불이 정책하겠다는 트럼프.
We will not let countries come in, take our jobs, and plunder our nation. They come and do that. They plunder our nation. The way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. Very simple. Build it in America and only in America. I said, well, they give you cash. Would they be able to find him? She said, actually, and I didn't know this, she said, very little cash is given. It's all put right on the check. And they've just hired, as you know, 88,000 agents to go after him even more. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax and tips? She said, what a great idea. It's better than spending millions of dollars.
자신의 목숨을 살려줬던 차트를 자랑스러워하는 트럼프.
But you can see on the chart that saved my life. That was the chart that saved my life. I said, look it up. It was done by the Border Patrol, one of the greatest charts I've ever seen. It showed everything just like that. You know the chart. Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today. If you look at the arrow in the bottom, that's the lowest level, the one on the bottom, heavy red arrow. That's the lowest level of illegal immigrants ever to come into our country in recorded history. And that was my last week in office. And then you see what happened after I left. And if you go out a little bit further, it's getting to be a little bit old. Under the Trump administration, if you came in illegally, you were apprehended immediately and you were deported. You went right back. The current administration terminated every single one of those great Trump policies that I put in place to seal the border. I wanted to seal border. Again, come in, but come in legally. You know how unfair it is? So many people, hundreds of thousands of people, have been working for years to come into our country.
미국이 불법이민자 덤핑장으로 변경되었다는 트럼프.
He's sending all of his criminals, his drug dealers, his people that are in jails, he's sending them all to the United States. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. And they can't believe that they're getting away with what they're getting away with, but they're not going to be getting away with it for long. That's what I can tell you. Because in Venezuela, crime is down 72%. In El Salvador, murders are down by 70%. Now, he would have you convinced that because he's trained murderers to be wonderful people. No. They're down because they're sending their murderers to the United States of America.
트럼프, 헝가리 수상이 자신을 칭찬한 것을 인용.
Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man. He said, I don't want people coming into my country and blowing up our shopping centers and killing people. But they said to him, tell us what's going wrong. But Viktor Orban said it. He said, Russia was afraid of him. China was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nothing was going to happen. And now the world is blowing up around us. All of these things that you read about were not going to happen. Under President Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under President Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under the current administration, Russia is after all of Ukraine. Under President Trump, Russia took nothing. We defeated 100% of ISIS in Syria and Iraq, something that was said to take 5 years, sir. We did it in a matter of a couple of months.
북한과 좋은 관계로 평화유지하겠다는 트럼프.
Kim Jong-un, I got along very well with him. The press hated when I said that. How could you get along with him? Well, you know, it's nice to get along with somebody who has a lot of nuclear weapons or otherwise, isn't it? But no, I got along with him, and we stopped the missile launches from North Korea. Now North Korea is acting up again, but when we get back, I get along with him. He'd like to see me back, too. I think he misses me, if you want to know the truth.
아프간 전쟁에 영향력을 발휘했던 트럼프 일화.
You know, 18 months in Afghanistan, we didn't have one, so they were killing them left and right, snipers. And I spoke to the head of the Taliban. You've heard this story. Abdul, still there, still the head of the Taliban. The press got on me, why would you speak to him? I said, because that's where the killing is. I don't have to speak to somebody that has nothing to do with it. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever, ever do that again. You've got to stop. Because during the Obama administration, many great people and soldiers, but a lot of soldiers were being killed from long distance. I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to be hit harder than anybody's ever been hit by a country before. And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency.
가족 협박으로 문제해결했던 일화.
Do you know that right now Afghanistan is one of the largest sellers of weapons in the world? They're selling the brand new beautiful weapons that we gave them. But think of it, he actually said to me, but why do you show me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to ask your people or one of your wives. But he could figure it out. And for 18 months, we had not one attack on an American soldier by the Taliban. 18 months.
다른 나라에게 인질 풀어주라는 트럼프.
And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price. With our victory in November, the years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I could stop wars with a telephone call. If properly stated, it would never start.
아메리카 퍼스트 천명하는 트럼프.
It's America first. America first. We will unleash the power of American innovation. And as we do, we will soon be on the verge of finding the cures to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and many other diseases.
치매와 암 정복 자신하는 트럼프.
We're going to get to the cure for cancer and Alzheimer's and so many other things. We're so close to doing something great. But we need a leader that will let it be done.
성전 환자 성별 바꿔서 스포츠 플레이하는 것 금지 예정.
We will not have men playing in women's sports. That will end immediately.
트럼프, 전기차 구매 강제할 수 없음을 공표.
And if you are going to do this all over our country, this crazy electric mandate, if you're going to do this all, and by the way, I'm all for electric, but if somebody wants to buy a gas-powered car, gasoline-powered car, or a hybrid, they're going to be able to do it. And we're going to make that change on day one.
일화를 통해 사소한 것에도 귀를 기울임을 알려주는 트럼프.
I want to thank Franklin Graham for being here tonight. He's an outstanding man. He wrote me a note recently. I have a lot of respect for him. Sir, I love your storytelling. I think it's great in front of these big rallies. But sir, please do me one favor. It won't make any difference. Please don't use any foul language. I was a little embarrassed. He said, it won't make any difference. Actually, it does. The story's not quite as good, but I've been very good. The story is not quite as good, to be honest. I've got to have a little talk with Franklin, but he was great.
트럼프, 아메리카 퍼스트 강조.
It has always been about the hardworking, patriotic citizens of America. For too long, our nation has settled for too little. We settled for too little. I am here tonight with the opposite message. Your expectations are not big enough. They're not big enough. It is time to start expecting and demanding the best leadership in the world, leadership that is bold, dynamic, relentless, and fearless. We can do that. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright. We can do it together. We will unite. We are going to come together, and success will bring us together. It is a story of love, sacrifice, and so many other things.
트럼프, RNC 마무리.
No challenge was too much. No hardship was too great. No enemy was too fierce. Just like our ancestors, we must now come together, rise above past differences. I want your vote. Going to make our country great again. Every day I will strive to honor the trust you have placed in me, and I will never, ever let you down. I promise that. I will never let you down. To all of the forgotten men and women who have been neglected, abandoned, and left behind, you will be forgotten no longer. We will press forward, and together we will win, win, win. Win, 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 win. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. No matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles lie in our path, We will keep striving toward our shared and glorious destiny, and we will not fail. We will not fail. Together we will save this country, we will restore the republic, and we will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before. And quite simply put, we will very quickly make America great again. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you, Wisconsin, and God bless the United States of America, our great country. Thank you very much, everybody. Right to try.